Goody Gumdrops.
Thanks for coming back. We're going to continue doing our multiplication learning with me and Jake. Let's start off by reminding ourselves the steps to the area model. Step number 1, expand. Step 2, draw the boxes. Step 3 is label. Step 4, multiply. And step 5, add partial products. Let's go. All right, this last, I'm going to do 2 more problems. They're going to be a little bit smaller. It's because I'm going to use some smaller markers, but they're here. We're going to be going, instead of 1 digit times these, now I'm going to have 2 digits. So we're going to use the exact same steps. I'm going to do 27 times 45. Step number 1, expand. I have 20 plus 7, and I have 40 plus 5. Step 2 is to draw our boxes. We're still drawing the boxes, but now instead of having 1 digit, 1 here, I'm going to have 2 here. So I'm going to have 2 digits and 2 digits. So really, I'm going to make a square. And I'm going to have my ones digit here. So just like we did up here, when I label my sides, I'm going to go 20 plus 7. But this one has 2 digits now too, this 45. So instead of having 1, I'm going to cut this into 2. I'm going to have my 10s on top and my 1s down below. So I'm going to have a box like this, and then I will label my sides 40, and my plus sign always goes on that line, doing the exact same thing that we did before, multiply. So now I'm multiplying each box, and what I'm doing is on this top row, I'm going to bring my 40 all the way across. So I'm bringing my 40 here and my 20 here. So I have 40 times 20. Well, I have 2 zeros, and 4 times 2 is 8. So my partial product in here is 800. Now I'm going to bring this 40 all the way across here. 40 times 7. 40 times 7. Well, I have 1 0, and 4 times 7 is 28. There's that partial product. Here, I'm going to continue. My 20 will come straight down. My 5 will come across. So I have 5 times, bring that 20 down, 20 equals 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, no, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Or that 0 goes there. And then 5 times 2 is 10. There's that partial product. And then bringing in my 1 times 1's box. So my 5 times my 7 equals 35. So there's my partial products. Now instead of having, just the 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step 5, add partial products. I'm going to be writing just a little bit smaller so it fits. So 800, I got that one, plus 280. Plus 100, plus 35. Noticing that I'm aligning my place values. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 8, 8 plus 3 is 11. My 1 goes down, my 1 gets regrouped. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So here is my answer. My product is 1,215. Last one that I'm going to do is a 2-digit by 3-digit problem. So we're going to see the same pattern. It's going to continue, and I'm very excited to show you that we'll still get the same kind of answer using the same kind of work. So here we go. I am going to multiply the numbers 426 times 32. And we are going to be using the area model to solve this. So following our steps, step 1 is expand. So I'm going to expand both of these numbers. I have 6 plus 2 groups of 10 is 20, plus 4 groups of 100 is 400. Over here I have 2, and 3 groups of 10 is 30. Step 1. Step 2. Draw your boxes. So I'm going to have 2 digits and I'm going to have 3 digits, which means I'll have 3 boxes and 2 boxes. And since I have this kind of space, I'm going to draw them here like this.
my longer side going this way. So here I'm going to have my 32, so my 30 plus 2, which means that I'll need a ones place and a tens place. And here up on top, I'm going to have my 3 digits. So here's my ones place, here's my tens place, and here's my hundreds place. Label my boxes. Well, down this side, I have my 32, so I have my 30 plus 2. Across the top, I'm going to have my 426, so my hundreds box is 400, plus my tens box, which is 20, plus my sixes box, which is 6. Step number 4, multiply. Here we go. In my hundreds times tens box, this I'm going to have 30 times 400. Exact same thing doing our tens patterns. 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. 3 times 4 is 12. No wonder we learned those powers of 10. That's easier. In this box, I have 20 times 30, or 30 times 20. It doesn't matter which way. I have my 2 zeros, and 3 times 2 is 6. There's my partial product. In my ones box over here on the top, I have 30 times 6, or 6 times 30. It doesn't matter which way you put it. I have 1 0, and 6 times 3 is 18. If you don't know your times tables very quickly like I have them, make sure that you have it with you. It is in the back of your journal. So moving on to my ones line here down at the bottom. 2 times 400, 2 groups of 400 is going to be 800. 2 times 20, well, I know that 2 groups of 20 is 40. And at the very end, 2 times 6 equals 12. Whoops, I forgot to circle my partial products. And now I have 6 partial products that I have to add, so making sure I use my space efficiently. Adding my partial products. I'm just going to add them up. 12,600. Notice how I'm keeping track that I've used that number by a check mark. 180, 800, 40, and 12. All right. Let's make sure that we keep this aligned while we're counting. Here's my ones place. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 is 2. Tens place. Because if I'm just looking like that, it could get confusing to me. So I'm using this as a guide. All right, I have 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. My 3 goes down. My 1 gets regrouped. 8 plus 1 is 10. Plus 6 is 16. My 6 goes down. My 1 gets regrouped next door. 1 plus 2 is 3, and 1 plus nothing is 1. I count out my house, 1, 2, 3, comma. There's my answer, 13,632, just so that everybody knows exactly where my answer is. So this is how we do the area model. Go ahead and pause the video and do all of your problems that have us working with the area model.
Moving on to expanded notation, let's remember our steps. Number 1, align the ones place. Number 2, expanded form. Number 3, label. Number 4, multiply. And number 5, add our partial products.
Now we're going to go 2 digits times 2 digits. Same idea, same everything. Step number 1, align the ones place. Our problem is 27 times 45. Step number 2, expanded form. Here I have 20 plus 7, and here I have 40 plus 5. Now for step number 3, the labeling is different. It's the same idea, but we have to label with both of these now. I'm always going to start in the ones. Always, always, always. So now I'm starting with the ones on both. So I'm going to start with 5 times 7. Then I'm going to go 5 times 20. Now that I've gotten my multiplication, my label done for the 5s, now that I've gotten my label done for 5s, I'm going to move over to my tens place. So now I'm going to go And again, I'm going tens to my ones. I always start in that ones place when I'm multiplying. 40 times 7, and I'm going to go 40 times 20. Notice how I have 1, 2, 3, 4 digits in this one, which means I have 1, 2, 3, 4 multiplication problems with my 3. Here I have 2 digits in the top, so I have 2 multiplication numbers from my 5, and I should have 2 multiplication equations with my 40. That's how I know that it's correct. And I know that I multiplied them all because I see this nice little bow tie. So when we're labeling, make sure you're looking for the bow tie. This is how we know that we've gotten all of the multiplication that we need. Step number 4 is multiply. 5 times 7 is 35. Aligning my digits, my place values. Aligning my place values. 5 times 20, 0. 5 times 2 is 10. 40 times 7, I have my 0. And 4 times 7 is 28. 40 times 20, I have 2 zeros. And 4 times 2 is 8. Then I'm going to add my partial products. Add my PPs. 5 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 5. 3 plus 8 is 11. Regroup my 1. Regroup my 1. 8 plus 2 is 10. 11, 12. My answer is 1,215, just like the area model. Yes! The last problem that we're going to do is 2 digits times 3 digits. So I have 1 digit times 2 digits, 1 digit times 3 digits, 1 digit times 4 digits, and then 2 digits times 2 digits. And now I'm going to go 2 digits times 3 digits up here. I'm going to start writing a little bit smaller just to make sure that it fits in here. So, step number 1 is align our ones. The problem that we're going to be doing is 426 times 32. Step 2, expanded form. Here I have 400 plus 20 plus 6. Here I have 30 plus 2. Label. We're going to remember, since I have 1, 2, 3 digits up here, I'm going to have an equation with my 2 3 times. So let's start with my 2, and I always start with the ones. So 2 times 6 is my first one. 2 times 20, and 2 times 40. I'm sorry, 2 times 400. So I've got that. Now I move to my 30s, starting with my ones place always. 30 times 6, 30 times 20, and 30 times 400. Notice our bow tie is a lot more complicated this time. It's got an extra part, but we can still see that bow tie in there. Step 4 is to multiply, remembering to align our ones the whole time. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 20 is 40. 2 times 400, 2 groups of 400 is 800. 30 groups of 6, or 6 groups of 30, is 180. 30 times 20 is 600. 30 times 400 is 12,000. And step number 5 is to add my PPs. 2 plus nothing is 2. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 8 is 13. 8 plus 1 is 9. 10. 10 plus 6 is 16. 1 plus 2 is 3. And 1. So my answer is 3,632, just like the area model. Go ahead and pause this and work on your expanded notation problems.
Moving on to the shortcut method, let's remember our steps. Number 1, align the ones. Number 2, multiply starting in the ones place, moving left. Number 3, move to the tens, hundreds, and thousands places, always moving towards the left and regrouping along the way.
Same thing, exact same steps for our shortcut method. Our first problem is going to be 27 times 45. Step 1, align the ones. Step 2, multiplying starting in the ones. So we're starting in our ones place, and moving to the left. 7 times 5 is 35. My 5 goes down. My 3 gets regrouped along the way. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. My 3 goes down. My 1 gets regrouped. Nothing is there, so it comes straight down. Now, here is where we are going to get into some trouble. In our step number 3, when you multiply starting in the tens place, you have to remember it is a 10, so we have to use a space holder because this is 40 times 7, not 4 times 7. So we always have to remember about that space holder. So since I'm in my tens, we're going to put a space holder. That space holder I use is a 0. Because now it's 40 times 7. We're just moving over that place value. So here we go. Instead of having to think of 40, I can just think of 4 because I already have my 0 there. Multiplying starting in the tens place, but always in the ones and moving to the left. 4 times 7 is 28. My 8 goes down. My 2 gets regrouped. Make sure that you cross off that regroup addition that you've already done because we don't want to get confused by it. Moving to the left, 4 times 2 is 8 plus 2 is 10. So my 0 goes down, my 1 gets regrouped, there's nothing there. And now the special part that we didn't have here is to add our partial products. We have to add our PPs just like we've been doing before. So let's go ahead and add our PPs just like before. 5 plus 0 is 5, 8 plus 3 is 11, 1 goes down, 1 gets regrouped, 1 plus 1 is 2, and 1 plus nothing is 1. So here is our answer, just like we got with the other 2 methods. And we have our bow tie, just like we had last time. Let's try another one. This one that we're going to do is 426 times 32. 426, aligning my ones place, times 32. This is the one that we have done in the other 2 methods. Align my ones, starting in the ones place. And starting in the ones place, moving left. So 2 times 6 is 12. My 2 goes down. My 1 gets regrouped. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. 2 times 4 is 8. I have nothing else to multiply up here. Step 3, going to my tens. This is a 10, so I put my space holder. And now I'm starting in my tens space, but on that top number, starting in my ones place, moving to the left. So 3 times 6 is 18. My 8 goes down. My 1 gets regrouped. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. 3 times 4 is 12. My 2 goes down. My 1 gets regrouped. 1, 2, 3, comma. And I add my PPs, just like always. I have 2 partial products. 2 plus 0 is 2. 8 plus 5 is 13. 8 plus 7 plus 1 is 16. 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 plus nothing is 1. 13,632, just like with the area model.